She was once captivated by you, but now her interest seems to have faded, leaving you wondering what went wrong. This situation can feel like a punch to the gut, especially when you're unsure about what caused the change. Did you say something wrong? Did she find someone else? Or is this just a phase that will pass? Here's the hard truth. When a woman starts to lose interest, your reaction can either push her further away or help reignite the connection you once shared. In this video, we will break down exactly how to reconnect with her the right way. No games, no gimmicks, just proven strategies based on self-awareness and confidence that lead to real results. By the end, you'll understand how to not only win her attention back, but also show up as the best version of yourself throughout the process. Let's dive in. 1. Understanding the root of the problem. The first step in solving any problem is understanding its root cause. When a woman loses interest, it's not an unexplained random event. There are usually specific, identifiable factors at play. In most cases, there are two primary reasons behind this shift, and recognizing them can provide clarity and a path forward. Reason 1. A lack of emotional variety. Women are deeply drawn to emotional experiences, excitement, fun, curiosity, and even a touch of unpredictability. These emotions create a dynamic, engaging connection. Imagine this. If every date follows the same routine, dinner, small talk, and a predictable goodbye, it might feel safe, but it's far from exciting. Relationships thrive on variety and contrast. Think about a man who plans the same dinner and movie date every week. At first it feels comfortable, but over time it becomes monotonous. Now imagine a man who surprises her with spontaneous adventures, a weekend hike, an impromptu dance lesson, or even a homemade picnic under the stars. The contrast keeps her intrigued and engaged, making the relationship feel alive. Reason 2. Perceived desperation. When your actions show that you want her more than she wants you, it creates an imbalance. Constantly texting, calling multiple times a day, or frequently confessing your feelings can come across as needy or desperate. Women, like everyone, are attracted to people who are confident and self-assured. When desperation enters the picture, it's like placing too much weight on a fragile bridge. It eventually collapses. For example, texting her, "Good morning," following up with another message by lunch, and calling her in the evening asking why she hasn't responded might feel like you're showing care, but to her it can feel suffocating. Compare that to someone who texts thoughtfully once and gives her space to respond. This approach reflects confidence and patience, qualities that are far more attractive. 2. The key takeaway: self-awareness. Self-awareness is key to navigating relationships successfully. The ancient Stoics believed that understanding yourself is the foundation of wisdom. As Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Before you act, reflect on what might have gone wrong. Were you too predictable, offering no emotional contrast? Did your actions signal desperation without you realizing it? Let's say you notice a woman pulling back after you sent several heartfelt messages in a row. Instead of reacting emotionally, step back and reflect. Was I communicating out of genuine connection, or was I afraid of losing her? This pause allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. By embodying the Stoic principle of emotional control, you can maintain composure in your relationships. 3. Emotional variety, the secret sauce. Let's talk about emotional variety, the key ingredient that keeps relationships vibrant and attraction alive. When we think of attraction, it's not just about grand gestures or the perfect words. It's about creating a dynamic tapestry of emotions that keeps her intrigued, engaged, and drawn to you. Women, like all of us, thrive on emotional depth and variation. They want to feel excitement, curiosity, joy, and, yes, even a bit of healthy intrigue. When done right, emotional variety becomes the rhythm that keeps the connection alive and growing. Let's break this down with a few practical examples. Excitement. Imagine adding a touch of spontaneity to your interactions. Suggest something unexpected, like skipping the usual dinner plans and driving to a scenic overlook to catch the stars. Or share an intriguing moment from your day that she won't forget. These spontaneous moments show her that life with you is never dull. Curiosity. Mystery is a powerful tool. It invites her to lean in, ask questions, and think about you even after the conversation ends. For instance, if you're telling a story, leave her wanting more. But the strangest thing happened, and I'll tell you the rest next time. Ask thought-provoking questions that linger in her mind, like, what's something you've always wanted to do but never told anyone? Healthy intrigue. A dash of jealousy. This doesn't mean manipulating her emotions or making her insecure, but rather subtly showing her that you're a person of value, someone who is admired and has options. For example, mention in passing that someone complimented you on your jacket. Funny thing happened today. A lady at the store said she liked my jacket. Maybe I should wear it more often. But remember, balance is key. Too much excitement can feel overwhelming. Too much mystery can come across as disinterest, and excessive intrigue can lead to insecurity. 4. Don't chase. Attract. When she starts pulling away, your first instinct might be to chase after her. But let me stop you right there. Chasing doesn't reignite her interest, it smothers it. The more you chase, the more you reinforce her fading attraction. Instead, focus on attracting her. Rather than frantically trying to pull her closer, become the man she can't help but gravitate toward. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about shifting your focus inward, improving your own value, and showing confidence in your actions. Attraction isn't something you demand, it's something you inspire. For example, if you notice that her texts become sporadic, instead of bombarding her with messages like, "Is everything okay?" or "Are you upset with me?" take a step back. Spend time focusing on your own growth, whether that's hitting the gym, excelling in your career, or spending quality time with friends. When she eventually reaches out, respond calmly and positively, showing no signs of desperation. This shift in energy will make her stop and think, "Why haven't I heard from him?" It creates an air of mystery and respect for your own time and space. Final thoughts. By practicing self-awareness, maintaining emotional variety, and learning how to attract rather than chase, you can transform your relationships and become a stronger, more balanced individual. Remember, relationships are most fulfilling when approached with calm and purpose. With these strategies, you'll not only reignite a connection, but also become the best version of yourself. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts on emotional variety, spontaneity, or the balance of attraction in the comments below. Let us know what strategies have worked for you, or ask any questions you might have. Resisting the urge to react, you reclaim your power. Instead of getting caught up in frustration, you choose to maintain your peace and self-respect. This shift in mindset is empowering. It shows her that your emotions aren't easily swayed and that you hold your ground, regardless of the external circumstances. The Stoic approach teaches us that emotional control isn't about suppressing or denying feelings. It's about acknowledging them and then choosing how to respond. So when she pulls away, the strongest response isn't to chase, question, or lash out. It's to calmly observe and control your reaction. Ask yourself, what would the best version of me do? Would he send that angry message? Would he act impulsively out of frustration? Or would he simply maintain his emotional equilibrium, preserving his dignity and demonstrating his strength? The answer is clear. In the end, when you're able to manage your anger and ego, you come across as more resilient, attractive, and ultimately more in control of your life. That's the magnetic energy that draws people in, not neediness or insecurity. So next time she ignores you or pulls away, don't let anger dictate your actions. Pause, breathe, and respond with emotional intelligence. This approach not only keeps you grounded, but it enhances your self-respect. It's the mark of someone who has mastered themselves, and that's a trait no woman can resist. Final thoughts. Remember, relationships are dynamic, and when a woman begins to pull away, it's important to recognize that it's a reflection of the emotional rhythm of the relationship, not your inherent worth. By applying these principles, embracing emotional variety, practicing patience, and managing your responses, you not only improve your connection with her, but also evolve into a stronger, more self-assured person. By resisting the temptation to chase or react impulsively, you gain control over your emotional state, and in doing so, you increase the likelihood of rekindling her interest. But even if the relationship doesn't return to its former state, you will have grown into someone who knows his value, exudes confidence, and is unshaken by external forces. This transformation isn't just about winning someone back, it's about becoming the best version of yourself, someone who inspires respect, admiration, and true attraction. Patience and timing. When she pulls away or becomes distant, it's natural to want to rush in and fix things, to make everything right again. But patience and timing are two of the most underrated qualities in any relationship. They reflect the kind of emotional maturity and wisdom that women and people in general find incredibly attractive. In moments of uncertainty, it can feel tempting to act impulsively, whether by sending a flurry of messages, making grand gestures, or seeking answers. However, the reality is that timing is everything. Rushing in too soon can make you seem desperate, whereas taking a step back allows the space needed for both you and her to process your feelings and thoughts. Imagine the situation where she pulls away, and you feel the urge to reach out immediately. Instead of reacting, take a moment to pause and reflect. What will happen if you wait a day, a week, or even longer? By giving her time and space, you show that you trust the process, and you allow the relationship to unfold naturally. Patience is power, because it shows you're not dependent on instant gratification. You respect her space and your own. You don't need her validation to feel secure in who you are. This doesn't mean ignoring her completely, but rather understanding that everything in life and relationships has its own rhythm. When you act with patience, you demonstrate that you can remain grounded, calm, and composed, even in moments of emotional turmoil. What's more, timing isn't just about waiting, it's about knowing when to act. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is nothing at all. Let the situation breathe. When the time is right, you'll know it. Your actions will be more meaningful and impactful when they come from a place of clarity, not desperation. Timing is the art of knowing when to step forward and when to step back. It's about giving space without losing yourself in the process. This ability to wait and act with precision when the moment is truly right is incredibly attractive and powerful. By embracing patience and mastering timing, you build the kind of emotional intelligence and self-assurance that create a magnetic presence. You learn to trust not only in your own worth, but also in the rhythm of life. It's in this balance that real attraction happens. Final thoughts. Throughout these principles, the core idea is simple. True strength comes from emotional control and self-assurance. When faced with uncertainty in a relationship, you don't react out of fear, desperation, or ego. Instead, you choose to respond with patience, confidence, and emotional discipline. By practicing restraint, focusing on your own growth, avoiding the traps of overreaction and seeking validation, and embracing the gray areas of life, you cultivate the kind of self-assurance that transforms not only your relationships, but your entire life. Remember, it's not about chasing or constantly seeking reassurance. It's about embodying the values of inner strength, self-control, and emotional resilience. These are the qualities that truly make you magnetic, not only to her, but to everyone you meet. This is a great breakdown of relationship dynamics and the power of emotional control, patience, and self-respect. The ideas you've presented revolve around creating space for desire and remaining composed during moments of uncertainty or when a partner pulls away. These principles align with the Stoic philosophy of inner strength, self-mastery, and personal growth. To summarize and add depth to your points, space creates desire. When she steps back, it's not a time to chase or pressure her, but rather to lean into the situation with calmness and confidence. Space gives room for emotional clarity, both for you and her. The metaphor of the balloon is perfect. Holding tightly suffocates the relationship, but giving space allows for natural attraction to grow. By allowing her time to miss you, you're not manipulating the situation. You're demonstrating emotional maturity and self-respect, which are highly attractive qualities. As you said, patience is a virtue. When you step back, you're showing that your life is full and moving forward, whether she's in it or not. The power of patience, the quote by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, "Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet," is a powerful reminder that waiting isn't about doing nothing. It's about transforming the time apart into an opportunity for growth. Instead of feeling the void, you turn the focus inward, self-improvement, pursuing your passions, and reconnecting with your sense of purpose. In doing so, you create a life that's inherently attractive because you're not relying on her presence to validate your worth. You're whole on your own, and that self-sufficiency is magnetic. The right approach. When she returns, when she comes back, it's easy to feel a rush of emotions. However, the true test of your growth is how you respond. Don't rush into old patterns. Instead, remain calm, composed, and confident. Treat her return as another chapter, not the defining moment of your life. Patience and restraint demonstrate that you've grown during the time apart. By not overreacting and instead responding casually and confidently, you show that you have control over your emotions. This isn't about playing games, but about creating a healthy dynamic where you don't depend on her to feel good about yourself. Mastering emotional control. As you mentioned, the Stoics believed in self-mastery. True power comes from being in control of your emotions and your reactions. Epicurus's principle that it's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters reminds us that emotional self-control is the ultimate sign of strength. When she returns, your response should not be a reflection of your desperation or your emotional needs, but of your confidence, stability, and personal growth. This will make you even more irresistible because people are drawn to those who remain steady in moments of uncertainty. The art of self-growth. Ultimately, the focus should always be on becoming the best version of yourself. Relationships are not about proving your worth to others, but about demonstrating self-respect, emotional maturity, and authenticity. When you invest in your growth, the quality of your relationships naturally improves. Your actions, whether it's how you respond to her pullbacks or how you carry yourself when she returns, speak volumes about who you are. The goal isn't just to win her back, but to build a life that's magnetic, steady, and attractive to not just her, but to everyone around you. Final thought. The core takeaway from this is that true strength lies in your ability to remain calm, grounded, and true to yourself, regardless of what happens around you. When you do this, you naturally attract people who are drawn to that inner strength. You are not defined by external circumstances, but by your internal foundation. If you apply these principles with patience, emotional control, and personal growth, you will build relationships that are deep, meaningful, and sustainable. True attraction is not about chasing, it's about creating a life that speaks for itself.